Hello traders, good weekend. Vladimir here, and this is the live weekly Forex review for the week starting on 16th of July 2017. Last week was very interesting and provided some very heavy moves, which provided us some great opportunities for profits. We have been talking about many interesting pairs last week, such as Euro pound shorting from 089-090 zone, pound dollar to long towards, and so on. Many of these pairs paid off and worked extremely well, and it's a good time to start and getting ready for this week to come. But first of all, I want to start this weekly video with sending my congratulations and our community congratulations to Roger Federer for winning his 19th Grand Slam title. This is just unbelievable, and I wish him much more on the years to come. And he is a legend. So many historical moments, and I am proud. I am alive and these historical moments, to see that happening, and the man keeping breaking his own record, and the first man to win Wimbledon for 8 titles. So, Mr. Federer, best of congratulations for your Forex fans. And now, guys, let's go over the fundamental view for this week. This is going to be a busy week ahead of us, and it starts today with the GDP and industrial production to be published in China. Bad news from there, and that could have a strong impact on the Pacific pairs, so keep it in mind. Then we have the CPI in New Zealand to be published tomorrow, with another potential pressure for that, because the CPI would be kind of a hint for the rates decisions to come in New Zealand. And there are some rumors that maybe they will have to admit another cut somewhere later on their meetings. Monetary policy meetings in Australia to be published, CPI in Britain, all that is waiting for us on Tuesday. Speech from the Bank of England Governor Carney, and then it's warming up. Oil inventories in the US, and we know how much they are important in, well, nowadays, in the historical days, we are living in the oil zone, oil niche. Employment rate, unemployment rate, and employment change in Australia, and then very important outlook report from Bank of Japan, their policy rate and their statement, monetary policy statement. Very important. It will be followed with a press conference, then rates from the Eurozone with a press conference as well. And it's very busy week, so eyes on the ways to happen. So let's start and cover the opportunities. Let's start with the euro dollar, which is extremely interesting opportunity, and exactly as suggested on the previous week, we are for long until the second false break did not complete it, and did not complete. We got a beautiful 2 waves pullback, which never provided a convergence here, because that's not an official low. That's one, and these 2 candles were not broken, so we can't treat that as a low. That was our area. So we need to still get a false break, a second one, and that could happen on above the 115, maybe even 116 area, which would be classical together with the daily and the weekly cycles. We have a monster zone here, so crossing above it should provide some amazing sell opportunity. Now I want to pay our attention for something very interesting. I don't normally analyze that, but have a look here on the dollar index. Now, what can we learn from the dollar index? That most of the chances that we are here on a corrective cycle down, right? Most of the chances. But this corrective cycle could turn to be just a range. Okay? Very possible for sure. Now, there is another option, since we had this special cycle here, that this is going to be also a correction like that. But that means that the bottom here is coming, and it's coming very, very close. I don't claim it to be now, but I claim it to be very close to provide and start to provide rallies. And that what should bring us later or sooner to the corrections on all the dollar pairs. Have a look here. Now I normally don't analyze that unless it comes to long-term views. And I just want you to have a look what's happening here, guys. 1, 2, so each of these legs, you see that? What it provides us. You see the levels? That's amazing. That's amazing combo on same zone exactly. Now, there is a very good chance the first zone would be here. There is a very good chance the next zone would be right here. Until we did not get 2 false breaks, because we are going still against the weekly chart. As long as we did not get any 2 false breaks, we cannot do nothing here. And as for now, we don't have false breaks, not even on the 4-hour chart. And with that, we have to be careful. There was one false break which was a horizontal, an alternative trend line, like here. Only if we can complete another false break, it might be now also horizontal, then we have to pay attention to it. And if it happens, if we go and close above here, break above this trend line could provide the hint that we are ready for buys on retraces. After that, we will be looking for 2 waves down, breakout, and longs. Okay, if it keeps pushing down, which is has a very serious potential, we have our next levels, and they are slightly lower, like below 94, around 93 zone. That's the area where we will have to pay attention to. That's a bullish hidden divergence here forming, and once we will get it combined with the daily divergence completed and false breaks to appear, that's going to be a very, very massive call. And if it continues down, then this would be our next area. As you can see, that's the bottom of this potential range. And from here, you can prepare yourself for some monster retraces up. So that hint is good for all the dollar pairs. As for now, the euro dollar is still long, and I don't see that changing, especially as long as the trend line holds here and the support holds. As long as that's the case, we are for long, and I expect it to keep higher. Same with the pound dollar, which we expected to continue up, and now finally it does. And you see, guys, what I mean by patience pays off. That's exactly what. And the pound dollar now looks very, very promising, looks very good. It has a magnet by itself right here. That's around the 132 area. And the next magnet would be around 136, which would be the gap zone from Brexit. Remember? That's the place. Okay? So we stay long here, and every pullback we get should be considered as an opportunity to buy. And if we go to the crystal ball, then you can see we have we have a very beautiful, here are the levels. We have a very beautiful zones. We are going up pretty seriously here. We don't have real pressure from the bearish direction. We will get on the days to come, so we still have the room to move forward. And 18, 19, 20 second, that would be the place right here where we should start to pay attention to that. And that could and should happen probably around the 132 area, where from we could expect some short-term pullbacks. As going by longs, each of the supports is good to go longs, and on the 1 hour chart we have closer ways to go long. So once we have, it's very simple basically. From here we follow here a classical trend. Every pullback down followed by bullish divergence on the time frame we want to trade is opportunity to go long, and that could be on the 4 hour, 1 hour, or even intraday. Next one is the euro versus the pound. This is a monster by itself. We have been talking about the 0.89 closer to 0.19. We got it right here, 0.8950. It was a really screaming opportunity, which still screams, by the way. it looks promising. We are completing triple cycle here. Every pullback down we get, we get, guys, is a buy opportunity. So if we can get it right to here, from this area to the 50% retrace, look for that to continue lower, as long as the day top holds, of course. It looks really, really, really amazing. Now, if we have a look here in the crystal ball assistance, let's take a look for the numbers. That's our channel. So every pullback we can get inside the channel should lead us for great opportunities for buys. And that could happen also 21, 20, 17 actually, 21, 22, 24, all that period. So if we can come closer here, boom, look for sells. And that's our resistances. One here, one here. Alright, let's continue, guys. Next one on the list, New Zealandian dollar. New Zealandian dollar did not respect the convergence. It retraced up all the way and continued for new high. And this is the place to say we're still moving inside this one huge here range, which is still, of course, very powerful and very relevant for us. Now, there are things, as I mentioned at the beginning of the video with the fundamental view, it will go hand by hand with the dollar index, of course, but there are pressure to come from the CPI in New Zealand and also from the news from China. They will be effective on Australia and on the New Zealandian for some view. And this is a very, very powerful place. Now, if we measure here this huge cycle we have, okay, the 61 is slightly higher, but this is still next to the top of the range. So cross above the 0.74 should lead us for a great opportunities to start looking to resell. We are building up the divergence here. This is continuing. So the best thing for us would be if we can get 4 straight tops. So 1, 2, 3, 4, something like that. And then we can go and look for sells. And as long as we respect the support, every pullback should be a great buy opportunity. Again, as long as we do respect the zones. Now, in terms of the crystal ball, just for assistance, let's have a look. When can we expect after the 22nd? So there are still enough reasons to go up, okay? And then only then start looking for the possible retraces. Now, remember the top on the 3rd and the 4th. Here we are, right here. These were the days, and we got this move down. Beautiful move down. Now, we are still moving up, and the next levels to be respected are right here. Okay, the same zone we have been talking about, slightly above 0.74. So stay long on this pair. New Zealandian yen, another very interesting opportunity. The pair keeps holding this 4-hour chart range. I would not be surprised if we see the 84 zone or so, which would be the 61.8 of this cycle. Okay, we are already next to it, but I would not be surprised if we cross above 84 and maybe even get 85 before we see some heavy move down. Very, very serious possibilities for that. But currently, as long as the top holds, bearish pressure is on. There are enough reasons for this pair to do something like that. One more, and then a huge move down by completing this special cycle or something like that. So we are good with shorts as long as this top holds, of course. Look for opportunities. Don't sell blindly. But here is an idea for sell. If we get this trendline breakout, that could lead us for another move down. Okay, and all that is relevant as long as the top holds, of course. And from this area, again, most likely, again, there is no guarantee for that, but most likely we are going to 84 plus. From there a crash. It might take time, but it looks promising for us. The idea wasn't remain. Look for sell only. Aussie versus the Kiwi, flying as we wanted to see that. Now this pair has some heavy divergence, so I would not be surprised if around this area we would see some kind of pullback, and then we are after buys again. So look to buy retraces as long as the daily bottom holds. It's building beautifully. Each of the steps has higher highs on the MACD, on the RSI. Volumes are good. So every pullback is a buy, basically. Euro versus the yen. Look at this monster double doji pattern right on the top of 130. It was false break, and then we had a monster engulfing of triple candle. You see this engulfing? Triple candle engulfing. It's a monster pattern. So what could happen from here is this double doji breakout and continuation, or slightly attempt for another rally and then crash to happen. For us, every rally is sell as long as the top of the daily holds. Dollar yen, well, also after the bad numbers of retail sales in the US last Friday, dollar yen does what we wanted. We have been looking for sales and this remains on. Currently, this double cycle, as you can see, should reach the 38.2 around 112. Then probably we are going to the 50 zone. But the good news are that this cycle might be the beginning of something like that. So for us, as long as the top holds, stay bearish and bearish only. Aussie yen, same story, is reaching a monster 61.8 level. We have to pay attention to it. It's a bit higher, but we need to respect that area, of course. This is the zone. Okay, that's around 91. We're not there yet. There is no divergence yet completed. So as for now, every drop is still a buy. But once we come here, I would say 89 plus, look for sell opportunities to form. Don't sell blindly. Look for the sell opportunities to form. And the best way to look for sell opportunities is, for example, false breaks, momentum will change by lower lows, and seller traces. Or if you want to play more aggressive, then let it reach this area, mark the last trend line, and sell with its breakout. Get for the setups. Don't blindly sell. This is a very common mistake people sometimes do. Traders tend to believe that, okay, we are there, it's gonna happen. Wait, unless you invest, okay? But wait, don't force. Don't force. Next one on the list, Aussie versus the franc. Pair we have been following and we still do. Up, up, up. No change here. Okay, no changes. We are for buys and we expect it to go to 0.77 plus and higher. So every drop down, look for buys. CAD franc, same story. Now it went across the 100. We are next to the one. We are going to 161.8, and as I said last time, 0.77 zone approximately. We are coming closer. We might expect here a pullback, which after we'll be looking for buys. How we are looking for pullbacks? Same story. We need two false breaks. So 1, 2, momentum will change, retrace and sell. Target would be, of course, the first of all 38.2 of this cycle, and then the big one. That would be the targets to follow. And in terms of crystal ball, let's get some help here. Oops, here we go. We are good for sales already, but let's see what are the days for us. We have 15, 16, which is today. 19. This is a very powerful zone for us, so we would expect these days to start and form the sell opportunities. Probably back to the channel. Keep an eye. It looks good, and it's probably going to provide a great opportunity. Dollar CAD continues its down move, and as expected, we want the 125, 124. That's the zone we will be watching to be reached. Okay, this is the zone of that cycle, the 261 expansion. That's the zone of this cycle, and it's even lower. So 124 and 125, that's where we most likely go. From here, we expect corrections to the upside. Keep an eye here. Very interesting one, guys. Euro franc. Well, euro franc, no changes. You've been following for a while. The idea remains same. Now we start to get a false break. So one more would be just an ideal setup for shorts. And that's for the euro franc. Let's check a list here. What else we have interesting? Oh, CAD yen. CAD yen, another one reaching critical area. Okay, already. Now note that we were expecting of this triple cycle the 50%, and we are almost there. My dear friend, 89 till 1991, that's the place to start looking for the sales. Get ready. Something very interesting going to form right here. So when it false breaks, it could be horizontal, it could be trend line, false breaks, momentum will change for lower lows. This is irrelevant currently, but for the lows to be created, and then we are looking for sells. Stay tuned. It's massive, and that could be a monster opportunity. And the New Zealandian Canadian also coming to the bottom of this range, which means this could start look like a possible retrace buy zone. We still don't have any false breaks completed, and don't really have divergence yet completed, so sell rallies was and remain current plan. Silver, as suggested and still suggested, every drop down is a buy. It doesn't change. Same with the gold. Okay, that was our plan, that remains our plan. No changes right here. And let's go a bit to the indices and oil. Now oil is a bit tricky and not really readable, because as long as this top holds, there is a good chance that once this is broken, we are going down. Very good chance for that. On the same time, for weekly, we're still for up. It's kind of controversial, and that's why I always love to split. For those of you who trade long term, look only for buys, dips. Don't deal with the short term noises. For those of you who are looking for short term noises only, don't deal with the long term direction. You don't care about it. And as long as this top holds, we can look for possible sell opportunities by breaking the trend line, for example. If this is gone, this high is gone, don't force. Start looking for the re-entries. Nasdaq, still dancing around the top. No setups here. Bearish hidden divergence potentially forming. 4-hour chart divergence is forming. And we have a special cycle levels on the 4-hour chart. Does that feel like a trade? If we start get a false break here and lower lows, look for sells. If we break above this high, we are probably for one more high of the weekly and the monthly, weekly and daily cycles, where from we will have to use patience before we attack. And S&P does create a second move, the second high. We had one false break. This should turn to be the second one. Well, let's see if it does. What we need for that is a price to close below this high, break this low to gain the momentum for us, and then sell the rally massively. And sugar, we want to buy dips. Every drop down to come, we are looking for buys. And a new contract coming here with October expiration. That's all for today, friends. A lot of opportunities. Put your notes, have your levels, and enjoy the moves that market can provide. Remember, this is also summertime, so some unexpected low volatility here and there. Of course, it's normal, so don't get scared by that. Don't get bored by that. If nothing is moving, don't trade. Don't force. We can't make money if nothing is moving. Simply can't. And it will not help if you trade more. It will just make it worse. Thank you for your time watching this video. I wish you a wonderful week to come. If you like the video, please leave your feedback. Click the like button. Leave your questions if you have any, of course. And you can share with anyone who you believe can have this video beneficial. Thank you for your time once again, and I wish you only the best. Yours, Vladimir Ribakov.